Hi there, this is Jason Dingus again from Quiz Machinery. I want to talk to you guys today about the roller hold down machine made right here in North Carolina with CR Onsrud. And we've placed a lot of these machines with high production plywood, MDF door manufacturers. This is a fixed bridge moving table design. And I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the roller hold down version of it because we put so many of them in the high production plywood frame facilities in our backyard here. This machine is very popular in a high production plywood because of its production levels. So you can actually get well over 100 sheets per shift out of this depending on your nest. But a lot of our customers love that production and the fact that it maximizes one unit of labor. We have a machine that can be run by one person and can get as much production or more than any of the other machines out there. So give us a chance to show you what we can do with your particular nest and your particular facility. But right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let Thomas Tuck from CR Onsrud take over. This is a pre-recorded event from August of this year at their Keep America Machining event that we hosted mostly in Troutman, North Carolina, where they build their machines. But this particular component was done in Raleigh with our strategic partner, EMA Shelling Group. EMA Shelling Group provides a lot of the barbaric automated panel processing, panel loading, storage, retrieval systems. They also build a really nice edge bander and a really nice beam saw that we can help you with as well. But for right now, what we're going to talk about is a roller hold down that CR Onsrud placed at that showroom in Raleigh. Thomas is going to present from there. I'm going to let him do a lot of the talking about this. He covers the Carolinas and Virginia along with Quiz Machinery, so a lot of our customers will recognize him. And what I'd like to do is hand it off to him, and I'll be right back to you with the questions and answers.
My name is Thomas Tuck. I'm a area regional manager for CR Onsrud. Worked for the company for about 5 years. We have a 160,000 square foot manufacturing campus down in Troutman, North Carolina, where we manufacture all of our CNC equipment, American made and manufactured. So a lot of what we do is very tailored solutions. We have standard product lines, we have integrated product lines, and then we try to really sit down with you, listen to what your problems are, your challenges, solve those, but also look forward into the future, into what your goals are, and work with you on any limitations that you may have. So one example of that is what we have here with EMA Shelling and our great partnership with them. This Barbrick LCV system is a great solution for loading bunks of material, whether that be various materials in a bunk onto a single machine, maybe a single saw, things of that nature. And then as we go up into more variation of different products, multiple machines, we can go up to the various other Barbrick or shelling products for even full inventory management. So what we're going to display for you guys here today is we're going to cut some plywood. And we're going to use the Barbrick system to load that onto an in-feed staging table. And then we're going to use our 3-axis roller hold down, which is a great solution for stacking multiple parts or material that's slightly maybe warped. So plywood is the example here, or very porous material to give you proper suction and securing the panel in place so that you don't have parts moving around on you. So this is going to be a moving table CNC router, and moving table is a solution that we came up with about 30 years ago, where the table moves with a ball screw in the X and Y and Z axis, and can have a couple different orientations or table sizes, but they're great solutions for fast, high output CNC machining, or longevity, less maintenance, or even giving you great edge quality or visually aesthetic, products like thermofoil MDF doors, example, acrylic panels, things like that. Another type of CNC machine that we manufacture is a moving gantry machine where the table is fixed and the gantry moves overhead. So this being a moving table, the in-feed table here is a static table. On a moving gantry machine, it could be a conveyor, for example. An in-feed conveyor could be longer and shorter based on your output and your layout. And also on this staging table here, whether it's a conveyor or the table you see here, it could be integrated with labeling. So if you want to have part identification, barcoding, things like that, for the next process down the line, you can have pre-labeling here, or more semi-automated or manual labeling at the end of the machine. So what this is demonstrating now is we're pushing the panel onto, has rails here to guide the panel into proper place. One of the first processes is an encode generated that will turn the vacuum on. So the right combination of vacuum and rollers is great for porous materials or slightly bowed material. So these are going to be shipping, crating components. So it could be reels, it could be plywood furniture frames, things of that nature. This has an 18 horsepower spindle. It could be higher in horsepower if needed. It has a 12 position tool changer. We use an HSK 63F paper. So that gives you great ability to secure the tool properly at higher RPMs versus maybe an ISO or a cone taker. So just to give you another example of the benefits of a roller hold down machine, I have here some parts. It's a template type part. So this could be, this is a kind of a wood cardboard composite material, but you can see here we have 6. So if you wanted to stack multiple sheets of material based on the thickness, you may have 2, you may have 10. So vacuum holding from the bottom, pressure rollers from the top. This can also be used in RV industries where you have more of a composite, maybe a flow-through type material where you need all that component in place. So here we're cutting this, I believe it's 3/4 inch plywood. We're machining it at over 1,200 inches per minute. A lot of our customers in the furniture industry or higher output may get up into the 1,600 or 1,800 inches a minute range. Earlier we did a melamine cabinet at 600 or 1,650 inches per minute. So with the ack and deck of the machine, the 0-60, so to speak, you can get in and out of corners really fast. You can see very fast acceleration rates with proper feeds and speeds on your tool and loads. And what a lot of people like about the moving table is it's very easy to maintain. The ball screw wears, it wears very evenly. So if you have a product like this, which is an MDF door panel, or maybe it's an acrylic or a plastic component, when it needs to look pretty, whether it's a thermofoil MDF door, or it just needs to have a great radius or no spatter in the part, moving table can give you that at high acceleration rates because as the ball screw wears, it wears very, very evenly. So you can have less maintenance on the machine over time, still achieve high output, and at the end of the day, whether it's 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, you're still producing quality edge parts. So you can just see here the machine, the bar brake system already preloaded the NP table with that next sheet. I'll bring your attention down here real quick. As it's all floating, it's also going underneath this dust coat here. And what that does is it picks up some of the dust and particles on top of the panel. So one, it keeps your shop cleaner, but also if you wanted to label this part, for example, it gives you a much cleaner surface. So it's not 100% efficient. You have to have a lot of dust collection to do that, but it does significantly help in that process. This outfeed system also, if you have a skeleton or you have scrap, so for example, if I pick up all the finished parts, and then I have little things like this, well, what do you do with them? Well, the outfeed table, it will actually push these parts into a scrap bin, so it's easier to clean up, less work for your operator, and it can go off into a scrap conveyor of some sort and make that that overall process a lot easier. So these rollers are, I mentioned, great for holding down board material, double stacking, triple stacking material. But this type of machine is also available without rollers. So if you're more in the cabinet world, MDF world, maybe plastics, you don't need the rollers, but some of these other options may be beneficial for you as well. Bring your attention over here to this controller. We use an industrial control. Primary control is FANUC. And when we use the FANUC system, not only is it the controller, but we use FANUC servos, drives, encoders, cabling, all the components. So that gives you a great long-lasting solution. Standard 2-year warranty. You can actually extend the warranty up to an additional 8 years for 10 years total. They guarantee lifetime availability of spare parts and service. So if you have a servo motor that goes out or a cable, 25 years, 40 years down the road, they basically said, hey, we're going to provide you with that part. So we take the standard FANUC screen and actually created an overlay to make it more visually, aesthetically, pleasing for the operator, just to make it a lot easier. It's very, very easy to train on. So if you have a lot of turnover in your shop, you need to get somebody up to speed very, very quickly. This is the right solution for you. However, if you also have, an operator that maybe is coming from, a different brand, and they're more used to a standard FANUC control, we have that as well. So this display may be more familiar to them. Or if you need to hire a new operator and he has a FANUC background, this should be no sweat in getting him up and running. So we have a lot of cool features on here, but it's just very, very simple to raise and lower a dust hood, to change feed rates, overrides, read your vacuum out, input programs, tooling information, things of that nature. And again, the best thing is it's very easy to understand and operate. You don't have to be a rocket scientist or a full CAD engineer to understand this. Our technician team does a great job training your operators and getting them up to speed.
So what do you think about that? Thomas, thank you so much. Really appreciate that presentation. One of my favorites. That's why we showed it to you guys. And now what we're going to do is we're going to head over to Q&A. I've got Allie, our CEO, standing by. She's been taking your questions. Hopefully you've put them in. Please, if you haven't, go ahead and do that now, and I'll answer those questions right now.
Great. All right. So one question that just came in, direct DM question to us was, how high can I lift the rollers and hood if I'm working with hardwood as well as plywood? All right. So first answer to that question is it's probably around 4 inches. I'd want to put a tape on it to be sure, but I think you have about 4 inches. Once you add in the spoil board, if you're going to have to raise that part up, the solid wood part up too, you're going to lose some space really quick. So it's not an ideal machine if you're going to be doing both. There are high production plywood machines that could do both, just not as high level production as this one is. Obviously, this one's pretty dedicated to panel processing. So what I usually ask my customers is, what is the mix of solid wood to plywood? And depending on what that is, we can go with different machines, one that's just plywood and one that's just solid wood, or there's different ways to set it up, but usually it's a different model if that solid wood mix is high enough. Let's see if we have anything else. Another quick thing that I probably didn't talk as much about as I'd like to was the ROI and how you justify these machines when we do this. This is the highest production machine per unit of labor, 1 unit of labor. One thing that we love about this machine is that it requires one operator. There aren't two running all over it. Some of our other machines, it's good to have a second person there to help move a material handle the material. But in this particular case, this machine is really set up for that one person and to maximize that. And their footprint of their workspace is around, say, 5 by 12. And so they sit on one side of the machine. And great one, if you come and take a look at it when you can. We've got a bunch of them in our territory. We'd love to show you. And the rest of the ROI conversation. So we did one unit of production, which is there. And then the other way we do it is usually around cycle time. You're talking about a 30-second-ish break, but from sheet to sheet, from the second the router bit comes up to the second the router bit goes into the next sheet. So we usually can run, if we get your particular nest, we can run and give you a sample of how long it's going to take, and we can go from there. Running out of time. If you have other questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us through IWF Connect. You can also reach out to us through our new website. Please come check that out. It's great. Dan Costin, our marketing director, built it, and it's worth your time to go check that out, as well as some upcoming events we have. quizmachinery.com. Good point. Thank you.